Welcome to the video tutorial on arithmetic sequences. Now, before we get into the problems that we're going to look at, we need to just highlight the fact that these are arithmetic sequences. There, it's highlighted. What does that mean? Well, it means that the sequence is either increasing by a constant number the entire time, as we see in the first example, or decreasing by a constant number every time, as we see in the second example. When that happens, the rate of change is constant, and it's similar to a line back in Algebra 1. When we dealt with lines in Algebra 1, their equations were y equals mx plus b. But in here, for an arithmetic sequence, we're just going to rename things. We're going to replace y with a sub n, and we're going to replace x with n. So an arithmetic sequence is basically a line in disguise, and we will calculate it similarly to what we did in Algebra 1. In the first example, the slope is 5. And then we just need to identify a point in the list. So I'm going to take the fact that the third item in the list is 144. That creates us an ordered pair. Then we plug in to our formula for the line, y equals mx plus b. Here, the y is 144, the m is 5, and the x is 3. When we multiply 5 and 3, we get 15. So 144 is equal to 15 plus b. Subtract the 15 from both sides, and we get that b is 129. Back in Algebra 1, we would have said the final answer is y is equal to the slope, which is 5, times x plus the b, the y-intercept, which is 129. However, in this problem, we want to write the final answer as a sequence. So a sub n would be 5n plus 129. Now in class, we also talked about a quick way to calculate the value of b. Watch the problem at the top. Go back one term in the past. If we want to go back one term, we would need to subtract 5, and 134 minus 5 is 129. The same as our value of b. In the second problem, our slope is negative 3. Pick any item in that list. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to select 488. To write the ordered pair, we simply have to see that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th term is 488. And now we go to the equation of a line, y equals mx plus b, and plug things in. The y is 488, the m is a negative 3, the x is 5, and we're calculating b. So we get 488 is equal to a negative 15 plus b, and then when we go through and finish this off, 488 plus 15 gets us that b is 503. In Algebra 1, we would have written the line as y is equal to a negative 3x plus 503. But in here, for the arithmetic sequence, we will write a sub n is equal to a negative 3n plus 503. Remember the shortcut to figure out the b or not. Top item, we're going back in time 1, so we would have to add 3, and that number would be 503, which is our b. Now there was one other twist on an arithmetic sequence, and that appears as a problem does right on your screen currently. To use this approach, we must know it's an arithmetic sequence, as is stated in the problem. Then, for each of the two numbers we are provided, we are going to write an ordered pair. So the first ordered pair would be 52, comma, negative 524. The second ordered pair would be 7, comma, 286. And we need to calculate the slope. Remember we discussed that slope is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Let's calculate it. Now I'm going to view the point on the left as point 1 and the point on the right as point 2. So the slope would be y2, 286, minus the y1 of a negative 524, all over x2, which is 7, minus x1, which is 52. Be careful. In the numerator, that turns into 286 plus 524, which comes out to be 810. And in the denominator, 7 minus 52 is a negative 45. And 810 divided by a negative 45 is negative 18. So we know that our slope is negative 18, and then we pick either point that we had to begin with. Now, it's nice to avoid negative numbers whenever possible. So I'm going to select the second point, which is 7, comma, 286. And now using this slope and this point, we will plug into y equals mx plus b. So the y is 286, the m is negative 18, the x is 7, and we'll keep plus b. Negative 18 times 7 is negative 126. We will add the 126 to both sides, and that gets us 412. So back in Algebra 1, our final answer would have been y is equal to a negative 18x plus 412. But in here, our final answer is going to be a sub n equals a negative 18n plus 412. That's our final answer for the rule for the arithmetic sequence. But be careful. Answer the entire problem. We also want a sub 500. Show me the plug-in. So we replace n with 500, and then you can actually allow the calculator to do the calculating. So negative 18 times 500 plus 412 is negative 8588. The 500th term is negative 8,588, and we have answered the question. But please remember, all of this work can only be done only when you know that you have an arithmetic sequence.